There's a lot of excitement when schools make the transition from age-specific training to group classes that are comprised of the entire family. And before I give you the details about how to pull that off or perhaps how to improve it, I want you to realize that we've uncovered 6 distinct advantages of having a family-based organization. And here they are. Again, this is not necessarily a order of importance, but you might want to jot this down. When you become a family-based organization, what you're going to find is people will pay more money. And the reason for that is, well, not only can we get more people involved in the program from the same family, there isn't another enterprise out there that allows mom, dad, and the kids to be involved in a proactive, progressive membership of any type. Heck, let me throw the challenge out there. Who can come up with something other than martial arts where mom, dad, and the kids can actually do it together and progress at the same rate of speed? I'll wait. See, there probably isn't one. So that by itself puts you in a unique, makes your program a unique proposition. And with that, you can charge more. It's not uncommon to have a family paying north of $500 per month to have mom, dad, maybe a kid or two actually trained. I just had a big bird hit my window. Pardon the distraction. Number 2 is this. Family memberships almost survive the test of time. You're going to realize that when you enroll a single member, a single student into a program, on average, you're going to survive about 11 months of training. What you're going to uncover is that when you put mom, dad, and the kids on the membership, regardless of how consistent they are, on average, you'll receive about 23 months of payments. That is spectacular. And I think there's a reason for that. And that is, well, again, there are very few programs where mom, dad, and the kids can actually train together. But more importantly, it takes more votes to quit. That one child member in a single membership, all you got to do is bellyache once and mom will turn the car around and go back to the house. But when you have more people involved in the membership in the same family, it just, the membership lasts. The third advantage is that you can reduce your schedule significantly while elevating the convenience of your membership. See, the number one reason why a lot of men and women don't have families involved is that the kids come at one time and the adults come in another. But with a family membership, you put mom, dad, and the kids in the same room at the same time. And what this will allow you to do is reduce the number of classes you offer. Now, that doesn't mean you have more time off. What that does mean is that now you have more time to do what? Well, build your membership, to market, to sell, to enroll new students, to do upgrades. Sometimes we're so busy at night teaching, we get no business done. So let's recap so far. They pay more, they pay longer. You end up, you have the advantage of reducing your schedule when you put the family together. And number 4 is they're easier to teach. And they're easy to teach for a lot of reasons, but the main reason is that you need to reshape your curriculum where the family can actually do the training in the same class. That doesn't mean to say they're training with one another. I mean, the adults aren't training exactly with the children. But by having more people in the class of different ages, you can reduce your curriculum so everyone can participate with the same level of intensity. So teaching classes becomes easier. So let's recap again. They pay more, they stay longer. It allows you to compress the schedule. They're easier to teach. All right, number 5. What could be the number 5 advantage to family programs? Let's put our thinking caps on. Anybody know? Well, it becomes a reservoir of potential talent. Right now, the average karate school are hiring people that are mid-teens. And the reason why, that's the largest segment. They have young people. So since you have a program based on providing training for young people, it's very hard to find somebody who's able to actually help you grow. I think teenage help, I think is okay, but I think more mature help is what's most important. And when you have families involved in your membership, it's easy to encourage an adult to get involved in maybe a membership that can help support your academy, like maybe an apprentice program or CIT. And we uncovered this in Sacramento many years ago, where as we increased the number of family classes we had, we were able to hire from within our more mature staff. And as a result of that, a lot of our problems just simply evaporated. So let's recap one more time. They pay more money, they pay longer, you're able to reduce your schedule because you can combine the classes, and obviously it makes it more convenient. They're easier to teach, and your future staff members will come from that audience. I think there's a sixth advantage, but let me ask you, what could be the sixth advantage to being a family-based martial art organization? Well, marketing wise, you can still market to children, but when they come in, the entire family is involved in the introductory lesson. And this goes back to this idea that our clients and who are our clients and customers? The client is the person who pays, the customer is the person who uses the membership. And in most studios, that's divided. You have parents that pay, but they don't stay. They don't even stay and watch the class. And you have the kids. But when you combine them, something magical happens. The client and the customer becomes the same person. And again, that ratchets up your income for the many reasons I gave earlier. Ms. Pesky, you somewhat led the charge on a family-based organization. Can you share some of the insights that you've gained by offering mom, dad, and kids to work out in the same class?
It's easier to teach. The kids behave better. It's more fun for me. We have to offer fewer lessons. We can run on a leaner staff. It's actually easier to do it all by yourself if you have less than 150 students. Uh, we have a class, most of our locations capacity is at about 40 students, which means a full class is 32. And you don't need 12 instructors to teach them because for 90% of the class, everyone's doing the same thing, the same way, the same time, the same direction under the leadership of one instructor. And that's powerful. This is how you have real influence over people. Now, if you have other staff, well, during a portion of class, break them into groups that are more rank appropriate, deliver some individualized attention, but then bring them back together again. The painful truth is that small classes suck. And if you've ever in your entire career had a day where you say, like for example, on holidays, before we closed for holidays, we would still deliver service. But when we smartened up, we said, well, I know a lot of, attendance is going to be scattered on holidays. So let's modify our class schedule and have one class at 6 o'clock. Come one, come all. Let's have a great time. We'll deliver some training. And it would be a huge class, and the energy would be through the roof, and it would be fun for everybody. And we thought, well, why don't we just make classes fun all the time? Why don't we deliver service like that all the time? Why do we make it where it's exhausting? I just got off the phone with a gentleman who's down in Southern California, and they're teaching 6 classes a day, 6 days a week. He's like, I'm exhausted. I said, yeah, no kidding. That's 36 classes a week you're delivering. I don't think we have a school that does more than 12. And that school's got almost 300 active students. So, by having family classes, not only do you have the 6 benefits Master Merton just listed off, and that's more than enough, but in addition to that, you don't grind up your instructors. The parents, everyone in the room has a good time because the energy is through the roof. And again, if you've ever taught a big class, you know what I'm talking about. But even more important than that, it makes it easier to enroll the new person. And it makes it easier to upgrade the people you've got because now there's real social proof. My favorite thing is to have the tour and orientation of the new family start or to have them show up towards the end of the current class. For example, tonight there'll be a class at 6 o'clock. It's a 45-minute lesson. I know we have 2, maybe 3 families that are coming in at 6:45 to do a tour and orientation. Heck, and even if it's just one, makes no difference. I want that. We schedule at 6:45 and we let them know to come in 10, 15 minutes early for 2 reasons. Number one, so that we can always start on time. There'll probably be another family here also. We don't want to keep anybody waiting. Okay, great. So I'm setting a precedent. Be on time, be punctual, take it seriously. Number two, it will allow you to see a class in action before we even begin. Kind of give you a little sneak peek. I'm like, ooh, everyone wants to know the secrets. They will show up early. They'll see 35 people in class. The energy will be tremendous. And the new person, it's easier to sign them up because we got the social proof of this is the place to be. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel the vibration in the room. Now, contrast that to someone who's teaching 4, 5, 6 classes a day, and they're doing an orientation that shows up and sees a class of 4, and you're telling me you're the best guy in town? Seriously? That'd be like going to a restaurant. Oh, this restaurant's the best. And you go there and there's like one other couple eating dinner. I'm already suspicious, right? How can you be the best if you're the cheapest? How can you be the best if this place is empty? How can you be the best if nobody else is here? You just made your job harder, right? So, and that's why, like, even Joel Brown, who's on the call, it's great to see you always, sir. He's got a huge facility and was doing a million classes a week when we first started. A big facility can actually work against you because it looks cavernous, but he's got some room, so he's able to shrink it down, make it look a little more full. Then he took his schedule and he shrunk it down so the classes actually would be full, and business has improved. It's important to manage your schedule, and the way that we teach everyone to run your business by the numbers versus anything else, you gain clarity because the numbers never lie. And it's like, your class schedule is like having a menu. And if you go to, I don't want to be, what's that one place? The menu is like a book.
It's
Cheesecake
a
Factory.
Cheesecake
You
Factory.
you guys ever gone to Cheesecake Factory? Oh my gosh. They've got 500 items on the menu. Now they pull it off because everything's frozen and they'll stay good forever. But if you're making fresh meals and you've got chicken on the menu and no one's ordering the chicken, that's costing you money. You got to take the chicken off the menu. And that's how you have to look at the schedule.